What is up, ladies and all these greetings, good guys, and I'm your boy JayShrek back with another video. Finally got a plot armor comics review, so I could tell a little bit. I've been on my voice, I've been a little bit sick, so make sure if you're watching this video sick in bed right now, make sure you click that subscribe button. Anyway, stomp the like button, click your belly button, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a video. But this is the X-Men gets slaughtered. Yeah, so I'm gonna be on Capcom later for y'all, a little story time, I guess, or something. I don't know, maybe drop a story time. This video is 25 minutes, y'all. 25 minutes. It's crazy, bro. My neck, man. Nigga Chucky in this big boy. Chucky in this big boy. It's my dog, boy. Playboy boy, it's gonna get hectic, boy. Stay right there, boy. Hold up. Wi-Fi is off, that's why. There we go. Ain't Jubilee a chicken place, bro? I still gotta try that, joint.
Iceman with a hidden syringe. Bobby managed to crack Nimrod's head, but the fight's over now. Iceman's still on his feet, but the energy Nimrod injected into his system continues to build, and the heat of it makes him melt from the inside out. Bobby just stares, his sight fading as he tries to reach out one last time for his boyfriend. Kitty Pryde and Romeo both scream as their friend deteriorates into nothing but a pile of sludge. Nimrod doesn't care. He's targeting the most powerful mutants first. Now he's looking for Jean Grey,
Come
but
on.
she's already here and has a question for him. What can stop the Juggernaut? She throws the massive armored warrior at the robot with the force of a sonic boom. It's enough to knock Nimrod out of the ballroom, and Juggernaut follows him down, more than ready to exact some payback on the murderous machine.
Is that true or not true, chat? People do the most to get clicks on the internet. That's true.
Here, the rest of the X-Men are going to be busy. Sync and Polaris are just about able to hold them back, but it's going to be tough. And things are getting worse as Dr. Stasis and Omega Sentinel, Nimrod's fellow Orcus leaders, dance into the room, twirling around. Karima dips Stasis as the two get close to Professor X. Why, you look surprised, Charles. If you'd been paying attention,
Ooh, I'll just say
you've gotten our
420?
RSVP for tonight. You're going to pay, you wretched madman. I want you to see what I've accomplished. Look into my mind. He's added a kill
Damn, that
switch
shit got
into the
copyrighted.
medicine Krakoa offers the world. Every human who bought stuff from them can be killed easily. Xavier's shocked, but Stasis and his new friend, MODOK, are here to demonstrate. One press of a button, and half the human guests start suffering painful seizures. They contort their bodies, several throwing themselves from the top of the buildings just to get the pain to stop. While that's going on, Orcus troops and drones enter via hacked Krakoan teleport gateways. Tonight is getting worse by the second. But the X-Men don't just lay down and die. Curse is taking laser blasts like they're nothing, while Magma throws out fire blasts behind her. Kate Pryde goes for her old friend, Strong Guy. Yes, that's really his hero name. The muscular mutant throwing her towards the nearest Sentinel with a fastball special. Kitty phases right through the giant Iron Man head, shorting out its cognitive circuits. The Stark Sentinel crashes into the ground nearby, defeated with a single blow. Kingpin finally manages to find his wife, Mary, in the chaos, but Omega Sentinel punches him back, the former master of crime snarling at the Orcus robot. All the X-Men are coordinating against the giant murderous Iron Man. Exodus can just blow them up with his mind. The five are teaming up to take one down, piece by piece. Rasputin IV pulls Miss Marvel close. She's got Kitty Pryde's power too. Kamala can hold a Stark Sentinel down with her embiggened hands, while Rasputin climbs up the thing and sticks her hand right inside its head. It falls to the rocky ground hard, but the two new friends don't have long to talk. The ground is starting to shake as Nimrod and the Juggernaut face off. You picked the wrong party to crash, buddy. I already apologized for that. Nimrod throws a massive energy beam before the one-time champion of Sidorak can reach him. Juggernaut screams as Nimrod forces him back into the tower, cracking its foundations. The whole thing starts to fall into the sea, but then it stops. Everything stops. Jean Grey holds the whole fight in place. She apologizes to the human guests for this terrible party before turning her attention to Orcus. They chose violence against the X-Men, against mutant kind. If they let go of hatred, they'll get to live through this. She'll put the humans down, and then she'll change their minds. She's so angry at what's happened tonight. She's just gonna brainwash them all to make sure this could never happen again. But while he doesn't know the exact details, Dr. Stasis has one more trick up his sleeve. Orcus kept one agent in reserve, one who had an artificial mind telepathy couldn't read. And with one quick, well-placed stab, Moira McTaggart kills Jean Grey, mightiest of the X-Men. In her last moments, Jean finally hears Cyclops. Back, broken, lying beneath the burning treehouse. Scott apologizes for not being able to come back and help her. Moira laughs over the telepath's fallen body. Jean, clinging to life, asks what was on the dagger. Moira confirms that it's Blight's will, a magic compound designed to get around mutant resurrection. Killing Jean isn't enough to end the fight. All the remaining X-Men are ready to rally together and take Orcus down. But then, Moira puts her poison knife to Xavier's throat. Krakoa's been selling their medicine to humans everywhere. Moira makes that the threat. Unless the mutants surrender, Orcus will broadcast MODOK's signal worldwide, and every human using Krakoan medicine will die. Just like that. And Xavier doesn't hesitate. He orders his X-Men to stop, backing up his words with some forceful telepathy. The professor takes off his helmet with a frown, bowing to his followers. I surrender. Moira and Stasis are happy to accept that. They've got simple terms. All the Krakoan teleport gates now point away from Earth. Orcus will end it here, provided the mutants leave. They've got enough negative publicity for mutants to be satisfied with this. Xavier claims he couldn't make all the mutants agree to just walk away from Earth, but as Moira points out, they don't have to agree. Xavier can use his telepathy to make them walk. If they come back, Orcus will just keep killing humans to make their point. Xavier begs them not to make him do this, but as they do, obscure mutant Firestar hears Jean Grey's voice in her head. She's not dead yet, and she's got one last plan for her old friend. She's invaded Stasis's mind. She was going to just erase him, but she's got a better idea. Jean can make him think he recruited Firestar, making her a mutant traitor loyal to Orcus. The X-Men can't fight back against this without information. They need her to be a spy. Firestar agrees without a second thought. They cook up a story easily. Firestar meeting up with Stasis at a coffee shop shortly after she was elected to last year's X-Men roster. In physical space, Xavier finally puts his helmet back on. He doesn't have a choice here. Go, my X-Men. All over the world, mutants slowly shamble through repurposed Krakoan gateways. Xavier sends them one last message, claiming this was all in an effort to save human lives. And on Krakoa's Atlantic archipelago, another player makes her move. Mother Righteous, Dr. Stasis's magic-using rival, puts a hand to the portal. As the mutants file through the gateways, Righteous rises above the abandoned island, enveloping it in the light of her lantern. She pulls the island into the astral plane, trapping it in one of her many lanterns. Righteous cups it in her hands, frowning. Even she's unhappy with what's happening tonight. Xavier's evacuation continues all over the world. How much do we love mankind? Is it enough to stay away for a time? Yes, as long as necessary to protect them from evil. I can feel so many of you resisting, but please trust me now. This is the right thing to do. If we love them enough, we'll give them the distance they need right now. But all the same, some mutants are starting to resist. Xavier trained the X-Men to be able to fight back against rogue telepaths. Poor Curse is being carried to a portal by 4 controlled mutants. With her last words, she tries to cuss out Xavier before she's finally pulled away. Xavier screams in sheer hurt, pain, and frustration as the march continues. Jean's body has decayed into a skeleton, but her mind still remains, clinging to existence for a little longer. She says one last goodbye to Cyclops as he lies on an ambulance bed. Scott mutters to her not to go as his body is driven away from the burning treehouse. Wolverine, who hasn't taken one step towards the portal, hears her too. The Orcus Special Forces are getting jumpy that he's not gone through the portal. Now he knows Jean's gone, Logan knows that he's going nowhere. He wades right into the fight, slicing through the invaders one after another. He's a one-man massacre. Exodus gets the 5 through the portal with brute force, wanting Mutant Kind's Messiah figures out of the line of fire right away. Mystique, though, doesn't want to leave. Xavier focuses his mental powers on her, but that just makes Raven fight harder, ultimately driving her to throw herself out of the window. She lands on the rocks, a bloodied, broken mess. Dr. Stasis finds this hilarious, still chuckling as Mystique gets washed out to sea. MODOK confirms that the Atlantic island has disappeared, but before Orcus can do more, Stasis realizes something. Most of the X-Men aren't moving. They're all strong enough to resist Xavier, even Miss Marvel, who joined like an hour ago. Still, Moira's now in tactical gear and still has that Blight's Will poison knife. They ain't safe. Emma wakes up the remaining mutants, planning to use her friend Lord's powers to teleport them all to safety. The remaining mutants and friends start clasping hands, trying to get ready for the jump. Moira yells to her orchid friends to
31
stop the
views.
teleporter, throwing her knife at Lords. It hits a member of the crowd instead. Before he can join the escape, Moira grabs Xavier, yelling at the Orcus troops to open fire on Lords. One soldier has her in his sights, but Wilson Fisk crushes his head. I think not. The next guy tries to show as Kingpin joins the escape. He's a second too late though. Just like that, most surviving mutants have escaped right under Stasis's nose. Lords took them to the basement of the Hellfire Club. Everyone's shocked and upset. Kingpin wants to know where Mary's gone. Kitty wants to go back and help everyone. But they're going nowhere. Lords took a bullet even as she was teleporting the group out. She falls down in Emma's arms, gasping a few last breaths. Emma tells her friends that she saved them all. Still, the former White Queen regrets this. Lords could have gotten out of the superhero life, but the teleporter has no regrets.
I can't
She
even turn
saved
on.
people, fought for the dream. Even now, at the end of her life, it was worth it. Back on the island, MODOK is still merrily pouring new drugs into the portal system. Nimrod finally joins the rest of Orcus, dragging Juggernaut's body behind him. What's
Smoking on
Firestar
Ed.
still doing alive?
Who
Do I
is
have to do
Ed?
everything? You're too hasty,
is
friend.
Ed?
Firestar's been feeding us information about Krakoa since before she was an X-Men. Now that we're going public, she's joining Orcus full time. That just leaves Xavier to deal with. Moira's very excited to finally kill Charles, but before she can, there's an interruption. Excuse me, I'd like to get off Michines now. I finally got a signal on my mobile, and the top news story is that there were no human survivors of the Hellfire
27
Gala.
views, okay.
I've got to leave and correct that mistake. Can you believe this? Our public relations department sent out the press release too early. Whoopsies, this is awkward. Kill the humans. Xavier screams at them not to, but Orcus shows no mercy, gunning down the diplomats. A few seconds later, they're all dead. The Hellfire Gala's in ruins. Mutants are going to be hated more than ever. Moria gloats that the dream of human-mutant coexistence is dead, and Xavier himself going down. The final nail in its coffin, the professor doesn't flinch as she raises the knife. He knew Rogue was on her way. Having now saved Rogue rips Moira in two before grabbing the professor and flying away. Her plan was to take Xavier to Cap, but as the professor manages to think, he screams, ordering Rogue to take him to Krakoa. Rogue tries to object, but Xavier explains. Everyone's gone. He thought the gates were leading to Mars, but he can't sense anyone there either. The gates were a
So you're a
trap.
butterfly riding this snail. I don't need to order crown.
Rogue can't believe it. That's 250,000 mutants on Krakoa alone, dead in an instant. But Xavier's convinced they're gone, that it's his fault. His mental suggestion made this happen. I pushed them all into a meat grinder. But they're all dead, and I killed them. Now leave me and go avenge them. Avenge Krakoa. Rogue flies off without another word, leaving Charles Xavier alone on the beach, a broken man. A dark time. As dark as Nueva York, when forced to deal with a whole new Carnage 2099.
Andando crescendo, era frio, série, that is my favorite radio. I'm a subdivision of the What the? Me and boy Jay Shrek.